Hi, Jeremy Hager. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you with the weekly news and review for February 23rd, 2020. And it's been kind of a light week on Masterpiece news and third-party stuff going on, and then, of course, Legends. But there's still news. And I saved a little bit of the Toy Fair discussion and topics and ideas and things that are getting presented for this. So let's get right into it. So the first thing I want to talk about is Show Z is putting up for pre-order quite a few things, and we're going to get into it, and I'm going to tell you what they're doing, and then I'm going to tell you why they're doing it. So first of all, they have this Fans Toys Huffer up for pre-order, and I noticed a couple other places might have put it up too, but there's really not an official release date for this yet. You're not going to see this at any of the US retailers taking pre-orders just yet, so I do have mine pre-ordered. I put my $1 down or $2, whatever it is. Next up, we have the Tesla 2.0. Now, again, it doesn't mean that there's no forward guidance coming from Fans Toys that this is coming out at any time at all, but they are taking pre-orders, and I think it's $2 or something like that. You can also use some of your points up to $1 worth, but you still have to put your own $1 down on it. And then next we have Cup, X-Transbots Cup, which is actually pretty close. It's a relatively close release, and I did do pre-order on that one, so if you want to get your pre-order in on that one. He was like $2. And I wanted to get into, yeah, they have Dr. Egg up for pre-order too, why they do this before there's like some official release date or the other retailers do it. And here's the reason why. Let's say Show Z gets 1,000 pre-orders, and let's say some of the other ones over there like Terry's Fans Club or there's TF Direct and all them, and each of them are sitting with 1,000 pre-orders for a specific figure that they had already collected some funds for towards this figure. They have money collected as a pre-order. That may help sway these companies to putting another figure further in production. That's all there is to it. Now, this was presented to me by someone else. None of these companies over there were the ones that told me this, but that was an interesting concept, an interesting idea on how they do this and why they do this. But the other thing is I'm going to tell you is that when Show Z sells out of pre-orders, they sell out and the price goes up. So I get my pre-order in. So we got some pictures of Flames Toys Fury model kits here. And so one of them is this Optimus Primal. This is a big, bulky looking, massive beast. And I like that. I like this look. This looks cool. I'm not exactly sure if I would display it, probably with my Beast Wars stuff. I'm interested in seeing what these look like painted up. When this looks this good, like stylized and just awesome looking, and it's not even painted, that's interesting. What's it gonna look like painted? Then we have the Rodimus here. This Rodimus looks interesting too. It's this stylized look. I can see why people like it. This is an interesting looking figure. If it didn't say Rodimus, though, like if I didn't see the words on it, I would have guessed. I would not have said this is Rodimus, though. So that's kind of my issue with it. And we have Windblade here. And this is a pretty nice looking figure. And let's put a little color to her real quick. Yeah, she's a pretty nice looking figure. My biggest problem with her, is I think her wings should have been a little bit bigger. I can't stop looking at them wings. They're just too small. But anyway, there's another picture, I guess, front there. So she looks pretty good all the way around. So we've got in-hand shots of Takara's Lio Convoy. And I think it's a cool looking figure, a cool looking design. It feels like something new out of left field to me, because I didn't watch the Beast Wars 2. And so I guess if you watched Beast Wars 2, I guess that's what it was in. Then you would know about it, I guess. But I still think it looks really cool. I'm not sure what's going on with the bananas on his shoulder. But we have some alt mode pics, and he looks like a big old lion. It looks pretty cool there. But this picture, I like this picture because you could see his size versus Megatron. And I think kind of we need to get this scale standard down and knowing where we're at. So I think that's actually how Optimus Primal or Optimus Primal measures up to Megatron, so that works. And this is what he looks like when he's in his packaging. And yes, Beast Wars is cool and all. I'm still looking forward to RC the most so far from Takara. Okay, so with us being a little light in the news segment here, I do know McFans Toys has this alligator crocodile, alligator crocodile. There's a big difference between the two. Anyway, here it is, and you can see in the background sort of what the robot mode's going to look like. I don't know why they're not revealing it like so well. It's just kind of like a hidden reveal there. But he's up for pre-order, and yeah, pretty interesting. I haven't got any of the Legends Headmasters yet, but I know there's some other Legends Headmasters, and we've got a pre-order for Mindwipe, which is Inspiration Bat, and looks good. You know, I think it'd be really hard to mess up a Mindwipe. Like, that figure is like Swoop. It's hard to mess up a Swoop. It's just too easy to transform. The design is so simplistic, but yet lends itself to be a very good figure. Here he is as a bat. I mean, it's just really hard to not make a good robot that turns into a bat, right? Another Headmaster McFans Toys is making is their Sea Dragon. And, you know, we've seen this before. We've seen some of these before. This is colored photos. I haven't shown them yet. So, there it is. And I'm excited for it. I think I'm going to go ahead and have to pick this one up. It does look cool. I do like the Headmasters. Oddly enough, out of the Headmasters, I like the main cast the most. Even though the more hard to get, more expensive, obscure ones that cost a lot of money are hard to get, I still just like the main cast the most. They should dial them out and finish up the main four of good and bad. And yes, we've talked about this, but keeping it fresh on everyone's mind, we've got the McFans Toys version of Astral Train. I think it looks really good. It also looks good in all modes. That's still up for pre-order. It hasn't been released yet. Something to look forward to. I like the way it looks. I look forward to this. And yes, I did pre-order it. Now, we just had Toy Fair. We're going to talk a little bit more about Toy Fair. But we're less than a month away from an official TFCon Orlando in 2020. And so that's the next like giant, exciting event. And we're going to have Vince DiCola there as a special guest. He is the composer of all of this. You know, the music from that movie, that soundtrack was amazing. But I look forward to this event. It's going to be pretty exciting. And of course, we'll look forward to that third-party panel. Hey, what else is going to be in there? Will we get release dates? Will we hear any updates? That would be exciting. So I did manage to find a picture of RC in the Cyberverse, and I was curious what the alt mode was going to look like, and I didn't know that she had like a full glass windshield cover and everything, but that's the difference in the Cyberverse one. So that's what it looks like. It's interesting. Yeah, I'll probably still pick her up. I don't know why. I just want to check it out. And yeah, it looks pretty cool. Alright, so I was editing my Toy Fair video, and more pictures and more information and more news comes just rolling out of Toy Fair. So lucky for me, I can talk about it today. So here we go. This is the Blitzwing and from the studio series of the movie, and I think he looks pretty cool. He looks good, and either he's probably a Voyager size, so probably what, the $30 scale, or is he leader size? Is he leader or Voyager? Anyway, I didn't get that information on him. I still think he looks good in both modes. His jet mode is really sleek, and that is awesome. I think that I didn't like the fact that Blitzwing didn't look like the original Blitzwing, but it's close enough. And well, he's not a triple changer, but still it looks good. Cliff Jumper here. This is Cliff Jumper for the Bumblebee movie, of course, and he looks interesting. He almost looks like with his face there, like Skeletor or something. I don't know what's going on with that face. And then here's his alt mode, and his alt mode looks, well, Cybertronian, I guess. That's his Cybertronian alt mode, and his Cliff Jumper. We didn't have Seed show us what the Cybertronian one was supposed to look like in the first place, so so I can't tell you 100%. Then we also have Sentinel Prime, and he looks good. He's going to be significantly smaller than the Leader Class one that we got back in the day for like 40 or 50 bucks. 40, I think it was 40 back then. But I do have the Leader Class one, and you know, I always liked bigger is better. But looking at this, I do think this one nails the character better than my Leader Class one that I have just hiding out. So we have actual pictures of an actual Scorponok actually well, being Scorponok. And, Scorponok's going to be Scorponok, and he's going to grab RC, I guess. But it looks good. I am very impressed. I am pleased. I mean, I know it's a mainline bot. You can't judge it to the same standards you would judge Masterpiece. But on the flip side, it's going to look good on a shelf with big bots that are Masterpiece. It'll be my representation of Scorponok, and I don't know if I would need a $750 to $2,000 Fans Toys Scorponok. Well, okay, I probably do, but anyway, I do like a lot about this. I like the color scheme. The chest really looks good. I mean, that the picture we saw in my last video just really matches this 100%. But then seeing it with actual vibrant colors in real life looks great. Here is more of that launching mode with the NASA on it, and yes, they did work with NASA on this. When they were talking about working with NASA, they were saying that they worked with NASA to get the authenticity of it and every detail right on the actual shuttle, which is interesting too because it's more of a history lesson with the shuttles program these days. I think they did a really good job with their setup. They always do. In fact, they look really good when they set these up. They set these scenes up. They do these displays. I mean, kind of blows my diorama skills out of the water, but it looks great. And a good way to show how they would all interact together. Here is Snapdragon in his dragon mode. And yes, I think that does look really good. I'm looking forward to that figure also. There is almost every single figure they're showing I'm looking forward to. So it's kind of hard for me to say anything negative about Earthrise right now because I'm liking it all. There's the other mode, the jet mode. I mean, I've got the G1, and so I see that, and I'm super inspired and definitely excited to look forward to this guy. And then, of course, we have more pictures and angles of this guy. And yeah, one of the comments was that he's not silver and that he's like a dark gray and not a silver. I agree with that. I would have liked like a shinier silver or something like that, but I mean, we get what we get, I guess. Maybe they'll get a recolor, maybe customize it. Who knows? I'm trying to get into that, but this does look great. It's big. It's as big as I thought it'd be. I thought it would be about the same size as the Impossible Toys ones, and I think it's a little bit taller. And if you want him a little taller than that, he'll stand on a chair. Here's a better look at RC. I like her. I think she's good. I just don't know if I like her more than Generations, and I need to quit saying that. Just, hey, I like her. So we got these tapes coming as a set. I think it's a Generation Select thing, and it's basically repaints of Rat-Bat and Frenzy. So we get a Rumble in this and some other bats and stuff. And we got more Target Masters. This is a Fire Twin, and I like these. I'm not gonna lie, I like these. I'll buy up every one I can because once they sell out, it's gonna be hard to get them for the cheaper price. You're gonna be having to pay more extra plus shipping, and it'll easily be double when you're trying to buy them on eBay and online a few years from now. So I'm picking them up while they still sell them because I do like these blast effects. This is Lionizer, and it's actually just a remold of another one that they've done twice, but still looks cool. Still has that slashing effect to it. Here's Pinpointer, and Pinpointer is another redo, but looks good. Looks cool. I'll take them all day long until they're done with this. But I still think 6 is a bit expensive. I get most of mine on sale. For when there's some sort of a sale, I pick them up. That's when I load up on them. But I like the blast effects. So we're getting into talking about some more media in the Transformers world, but do want to take a minute to say Mrs. Esther Scott here has passed away on Valentine's Day. She did play the grandmother in the 2007 live-action movie, so the first live-action movie, and she was part of the movie. I remember her, like, when I saw the picture, I immediately knew who it was, and I think she played her role very well, and it's just sad that we lost her, and losing anyone that was involved in this world and this franchise is sad. Well, losing everyone is sad, but even more someone in our franchise. So the new Netflix Siege show is coming, and there was a preview. I think they started a slideshow out with the preview, so we got some pictures of it, and I thought it was pretty action-packed. I thought it was okay. It's I think the Machinima series has really got us all skeptical of anything new coming out animated, and so I think everybody is just skeptical of this. I really do. I think that's where everybody's mindset is. I think everybody's just thinking they didn't like Machinimas, which I looked forward to that, and I just thought it didn't appeal to me very well, but I think it was broadly disliked. But they did a few things in that series that was okay. I actually think this one's going to be more action packed. I think the biggest complaint about the last series was it was kind of slow going. It was kind of, well, boring according to people. And this is going to have some action. I mean, we're in the Transformers world. We need the action. Here's Bumblebee. Still haven't seen a Bumblebee. It's been almost 2 years and the main line hasn't made a Bumblebee unless it was for the actual Bumblebee franchise, which is, I guess we're getting a break from Bumblebee, but I think it's because of the movie. But interesting that we still haven't gotten one though. But it shows it in Siege. It shows us in the show a Siege Bumblebee, so it's got to be coming soon, right? Or not. They're just gonna make all the Bumblebees in Cyberverse. So we've got Transformers Bumblebee Cyberverse Adventures, and so they've tripled down on Bumblebee with the Bumblebee movie and then the Cyberverse. Okay. Anyway, jokes aside, Cyberverse is okay. It's not a bad show. It's definitely targeting a younger audience, not the adult collectors. So the kind of the humor in there is for kids and stuff, but it's still an enjoyable watch. It's not the worst thing out there. Definitely not the worst thing out there on TV today. So kicking off some talk about Star Wars, actually Hasbro renewed the license. It's officially the license for Star Wars and Marvel through Disney has been renewed so they can keep going for several more years. They didn't say. I think it said maybe 3 more years. Several years is what I got out of it. Maybe it said 3 more years. But the reality of this is that we're going to keep seeing it. There's been a big giant question mark. Is Hasbro about to lose the license? And we don't know why it took so long. Maybe it was a strong negotiation. Maybe Hasbro was trying to negotiate a good enough price. But who knows? It's not a huge amount of Star Wars stuff to talk about that I didn't really talk about yesterday, but the reality of this is that a lot of people feel like it's a lackluster performance in the Star Wars world, and I personally feel like it's exactly what I expected. I wasn't expecting 5 million things to get shown, but here's a picture, kind of a summary of what's going on with the Mandalorian stuff that's coming out, which I'm looking forward to. As soon as I find it in the store, I'll be very happy with that. I don't want to pre-order it or try to wait for it online. And I don't want to order it online because so much of my stuff that I ordered online for Star Wars came in so battered and beat and mangled. I feel so much better when I find them in the store and can evaluate the packaging for myself. So that's just the way I look at it. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but that's definitely been a frustration. A little bit of a fuzzy picture here, but you can kind of see a whole bunch of the figures on here. I didn't hear much or anyone talk about like all of these Black Series figures that are coming. I didn't see anybody really focusing on Count Dooku or the Kit Fisto and all those. But I did see and we got Kai. Is that Kai-Adamundi in there? Heck, no, it's not. It is fuzzy picture. I'm sorry. So we'll move on to these other ones. But I didn't see a whole lot of people focusing on this stuff, which was interesting. But we do have a nice little corner and a better picture here of some 3 3/4 inch on the top and the vintage collection, and we have okay, that X-Wing is already getting clearanced out or sold on huge discounts at some places. So check around. I think Amazon had it down to like $60, and a couple other places had it cheaper. So I still think 60 is a bit much for it, but in the end, it is a big ship. It's not like vintage size. It is almost twice the vintage size. So I do understand them asking quite a bit for it, but not what do they want, 80 or 100 or something? I think that's too much. But anyway, moving on. This is a better picture of that other shelf that I was wanting to talk about, and we get to see these Black Series figures, and I actually got a Raven, so I'm happy. Now, I do want to talk about this and the Slave One. Okay, so the price is going to be $150, and the Vintage Collection Slave One, this is the BMF, so Big Millennium Falcon is where BMF came from. So, Big Millennium Falcon. So this is the big Slave One. And one question that I had when I heard the rumor, was it going to have the same exact packaging? And no, it's not. In fact, I'm looking at my Vintage Collection one from, 2012 or whenever they came out with it, and mine has just all yellow background, and the figures are positioned differently. So this has yellow in the sky, and you see the ground, and you see some building in the back, and then the figures are positioned differently. So it's different box. Packaging is going to be changed. Paint deco is allegedly going to be changed, although looking at these, I just don't see the difference. But the back of it's going to be completely different. And real quick update to the Retro Collection. So it turns out that they put pre-orders up at Walmart for all the Retro Collection, and Boba Fett sold out in like 14 seconds. I might have counted wrong. Maybe it was 11 seconds. Boba Fett sold completely out, so definitely the figure that everyone's going to chase down. All the rest of them were still in stock hours and hours later. So that's kind of a challenge. I was thinking about pre-ordering them, but why? I might have to buy a case or pre-order a case just to get one Boba Fett. So there it is. So let me know what you think about this week's weekly news in review. Anything else from Toy Fair that I missed that you might be interested in? Like, subscribe. Titanium Hanger out.